Hey, this is Redban with JavaLamps.com, DevSquad.tv, and this is my review of the Surface Pro 3 from Microsoft. This is their tablet slash computer. You may have seen these before because of its cool little stand that's actually built into it. The Surface 3 now has a nicer stand than the previous ones where you can have a drawing type angle, or you can have a viewing angle, like if you're on an airplane and you just want to watch a movie. And I really enjoyed my overall experience with the Surface. I've had it for about 2 weeks. It's interesting because I never really thought of it as a computer as much. I thought of it more as an iPad type tablet device. The one that I got was, there's a lot of different specs. It starts off pretty cheap and goes all the way up to pretty expensive. This one was $1,000. This came with, 4 gigabytes of memory, 128 gigabytes of RAM. I believe this has an i5 Intel Core processor. Yes, it does. And it goes up, you can get an i7, but the i7 processors start over $1,000. And then the highest end one almost comes in at almost $2,000. I've seen it around $1,700 here and there. But let's just cut to it. All right. I haven't had a Windows computer in a long time. I have tried past Windows computers, but as a Mac user, I just can't take it. It's just annoying half the time. Like things not working, drivers, all that crap. And unfortunately, this isn't as bad as previous Windows, but it still has some of those annoying features. There's been times where I couldn't turn on the system. I was, pushing the buttons, turning it on, holding down the power. It just was unresponsive. That was one of the biggest annoying things about this. Also, it had some updates that it constantly was doing, and those updates at one point caused my whole computer or tablet to not even work. It just was this endless loop, and I had to go into safe mode and remember all my old Windows tips or secrets. Like I had to delete all this crap, and I had to do old Windows shit, and I was not wasn't thinking I was going to have to do any of that. I was thinking it's going to be like an iPad. You turn it on, it works. Things work. That's why I like Apple. That's why I like the iPad. This was not the case with this system. But overall, when it did work, it was great. I love the new operating system. I love how everything's touch-based. It's very, if you have a, whoa, almost broke it. If you have a Xbox, it's very much like the Xbox control panel or operating system of the Xbox. So I liked it. Overall, the apps, everything worked fine. The surfing the internet was great. The on-screen keyboard, just normal stuff. Everything worked great. The coolest part is that I constantly was forgetting that it's an actual real operating system on this. So where, unlike the iPad, it's not really running the same operating system as like the MacBooks and stuff like that. It's a mobile operating system, iOS. This is actually running Windows 8, full version of Windows 8, and you can download any Windows program and it runs, and I've tried different applications and stuff. Everything works great. The biggest thing about this that I wanted to get it for was the Photoshop and the use of the stylus pen, because this is a touchscreen device. But the cool thing is the pressures of sensitivity on this thing is great for drawing. For drawing, I loved it. I thought it was great. Everything worked perfect. I've tried past tablets to draw, some of the Android ones, the iPad. None of them are very good. The iPad, as an example, Like you can't get really good detail. It's just not made for it. This perfect. Yeah, this really reminds me of my Wacom tablet, Cintiq. It was very good for drawing. There's optional keyboard that you can buy for it, which I think should just have came with it. I think this was an extra. I forget how much it was. It was something like $100, I think, for just a keyboard, maybe less than that. Oh yeah, it's over $100. It looks like. Well, yeah, whatever. I did not like this keyboard. I did not like the keys. The keys felt very sloppy. Also, I just don't like how when it just snaps onto the bottom, which I thought was really cool how it did that. But look, that's like there's no hinge there, so you can't like sit, like in bed. You have to like always constantly having it propped up against something or putting the kickstand down. The keyboard seemed like a great idea. I just wasn't a fan of the mushiness of the buttons. It just didn't feel good to type. I really did not enjoy it. I would recommend if you do get this, just get a Bluetooth keyboard. Or maybe they make other ones that can fit on this. But I think overall I would prefer just to have like a regular keyboard, like maybe a little Apple keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard or something like that would be better. The pen that comes with it, there's only one pen that you can buy. It has batteries in it. There's, I guess, 2 different kinds of batteries in it. It feels heavy. It's nice to draw with. I like the pen point. I don't know if you can replace these tips, because I know if you draw a lot, these tips, these nubs will get bad after a while. But overall, the pen is fantastic. And again, the drawing on this is fantastic. And, I really did like this tablet a lot. There's a lot. I really like how the main screen is constantly updating with like new like stories and tweets and things. So it's a really cool like little tablet just to sit there and watch, overall what's going on, on your online social networks without even having to do anything. I tried, one cool thing is it has a USB plug in it. So I tried adding webcams to it and it worked. I tried using Ustream. It seemed a little bit too much for this to run smoothly in like, multiple cameras and stuff. So that kind of sucked, because I was really thinking like, oh, what if I can hook up, a couple webcams to this and do, like a podcast or video shows. Ustream was showing like the processor was at 100%. And, this only has what, I think I said 4, did I say 4 megabytes or gigabytes of memory? What am I even talking about right now? But yeah, it just didn't, 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's not much at all, man. I mean, if this was a regular computer, that would be horrible, So that kind of makes no sense, because it's an i5, which is like a regular computer processor, but it's only got 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is awkward. You can get it up to 8 gigabytes, but you're going to spend over $1,000. So you're going to get like the step up above this one just to do that. And then you start getting into this weird, like, why don't I just buy a laptop type thing? Yeah. You're spending about as much as like a MacBook Air now, or MacBook Pro even. Now it's starting to get weird. So yeah, if this was priced a little bit better specs, I'd be more happy with it. Let's talk about the things I'm not happy with it, besides it freezing up and the operating system having to do, just having problems with the normal Windows bullshit with the operating system. I didn't like the unresponsiveness, like it not turning on, like it never turned on. The price, but I did like, it's better than the iPad. Overall, I liked it better than the iPad, which is huge for me, because that's, iPad I use every single day. iPhone, I'm an Apple guy for the most part. So me saying that's huge. So I do think if you're in the market to get an iPad or a tablet and you don't mind spending an extra couple hundred, I would recommend this over an iPad because you are getting a pretty amazing iPad experience, but you're also getting the ability to run full Windows programs and games, and you have a USB plug, which the iPad doesn't have. You also have a display adapter. You can also fit in a memory card. There's a little slot here, so you can put a micro SD card in there. So I have a little 64 gigabyte card in there. That's fine. But I don't know. Overall, the price is what gets me. As a drawing tablet, it's a decent price because Wacom Cintiqs are a little bit more expensive, and it's pretty close to the same experience for drawing for the most part. I don't know though. I'm very much on the fence of it as myself because I mean I spent $1,000 on this, over $100 I guess on this keyboard, and then I got this little mouse for it, which this is pretty sweet. This is a Microsoft mouse, and you just it turns on when you bend it like that, and then it turns off when you make it flat. I really like this. This is the Surface mouse, which I think runs about $50 to $60 or so. I do recommend this, but I can't really decide if I'm going to keep it or not. I think most people will be happy with it, but I'm kind of a power user when it comes to like the applications I run, like video stuff and webcam stuff, and that's where it kind of tripped up a little, to the point where I was actually almost thinking in my head like maybe I should return it and get the higher end one with the more RAM and the i7 processor. But then I was like, wait a second, I'm not spending $2,000 on a glorified tablet. I'll just buy a new MacBook if I wanted to, and then I don't need a MacBook. So then I go back, well, wait, why do I want this? So yeah, really, it's really interesting to review this product because a part of me, as a tablet, as a drawing tablet, one that has very good sensitivity and pressure, and it really has a good feel when you're drawing. Yeah, for that $1,000, I would recommend that, I guess. But as a computer, if you're buying this as your computer, no. For the same price, I would go with a MacBook Air. I would go with a Windows laptop. I would get a real laptop or something that you can upgrade down the line. Or just, I mean, if you're spending $1,200, you can get almost get a MacBook Pro, a 13-inch. So I would get that if you're going to. But as a drawing tablet, between this and spending an extra $1,500 on a Wacom tablet, I'd probably go with this. As an iPad, if you want to spend the money, you can even go lower. There's a $799 version, or you can go to Surface 2 or Surface 1, which I probably wouldn't recommend. But like the Surface Pro 3, there's a model below that has less storage. Maybe I would do that instead of getting an iPad. But I don't know. I'll leave this up to you guys. Overall, I really liked it. There is problems with it. It's new. Those problems will be fixed probably. It's Windows, so you're going to have the normal Windows issues. Drawing and Photoshop, excellent, but you do have to buy Photoshop. It's not free. It doesn't come with it. But yeah. I mean, just the screen itself. I mean, it has 256 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is huge when you think like the iPad has not even 1/10 of that. I think it's got a pretty decent battery. I would probably say it lasts you about 9 hours, 10 hours. The display is very nice. It's a 2160 by 1440 resolution. It's 12-inch. Display, unlike last year's 10-inch display. It runs the full Microsoft Office suite though, which is cool. So if you use Microsoft Word and all that stuff, that's great. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's got a headphone jack. You can get a docking station for it. It has a power supply that's pretty small. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I would say out of 1 through 10, I would rate it a 7. But it really it really depends what you're going to be using it for. I know this is like the sloppiest review I ever did. I actually wasn't going to review it, but I am on my last day till I can return it, so I just thought if I decide to return it, I better make something before I return it. I haven't decided yet. I have today to decide. I'm leaning towards returning it just because the drawing part's nice, but then I don't know if I really wanted to spend over $1,000 on a drawing tablet right now. So, you know, whatever. You guys might like it. If you're a Windows fan, you might love it. I just wasn't ready to get back into editing fucking files just to make things work, and you know, it reminds me of the old days. I don't need that headache in my life. Like the other day, I spent 20 minutes just trying to turn it on. I mean, that's retarded. I mean, ridiculous. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. You might enjoy it. If you're looking for a tablet and you're like, hey, you know what, I want a tablet and I want a drawing tablet, go for it. I think you'll be happy. Just, you know, maybe check it out. You could always return it. I don't know. That's a shitty review right there. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Overall, it's pretty good. I said that already 1,000 times. Check out javalamps.com. And if you decide you want to buy it, click on the link below or go to javalamps.com, and there should be a link to Amazon so you can buy it through there. Thanks a lot.